Alright, guys. We played MK Trilogy for the N64. Now we're going to play it for the PlayStation. Played as Rain last time. I think we're going to play as Raiden this go round. Oh, excuse me. Raiden has some good combos. Special moves are lacking a little bit. Okay, we're gonna set up button combinations. Let's see, R1, that should be run. L1 should be block. R1 should be run. Okay. L2 block. Yeah, okay, that's good. No, recently they made block, you know, your R1 or right bumper for some of the newer releases of these games, but for me, run should be on your right side, just like the Super Nintendo version. Nice. Ah. Oh, that was dumb. There we go. Nice. So this version of Raiden, minus some additional finishers and some combos, he plays just like he did in MK2 for the most part. They recorded some new animation for him for this version of the game, and they didn't have any footage of him falling backwards, so they recorded that, and in one of the falls the hat got crushed, so they no longer have that hat. Very sad. I think they have a similar one or a copy, maybe, but the original one was destroyed. I guess the down, 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 high punch, guess it doesn't work for this version. I'll have to look into that. Might be a correction I need to make on my site. So yeah, funny story about. So yeah, my childhood, I did not have this version of the game in my childhood. I had the N64 one, You know, I made that choice between PlayStation and N64, and I went N64, and it's not a decision that I regret. There was a couple games for the PS1 that I wanted to have. You know, this one I wanted to have, um, but you know, I just didn't own a PlayStation. And then, see, this was 96, 97, somewhere when this started coming out, and so I didn't get it. Well, let me focus. So yeah, cut to like 90, no, 2002, 2004 maybe. I was working at a computer repair shop, and this guy comes in, and he's like, hey man, I have a VCR. I'll sell it to you for like 10, 12 bucks, something like that. And so I'm like, yeah, man, let me take a look at it, because like I did a lot of video type stuff, and um, having another VCR to dub, you know, our like trampoline wrestling stuff to tapes, like you know, I could use it. So I opened the box, and it's a PlayStation 2, and it's got like 4 controllers and a ton of games and like a hard drive attachment. And I kind of felt sorry for the dude. I'll give you I think it was like 16 or 18 bucks. I know it wasn't a full 20, but I said, look, I'll give you a little bit more than what you're asking for it, since there's so much stuff here. I never said, oh, this isn't a VCR or whatever. But I did feel like it was worth more than what he wanted, even though it was probably stolen. Who knows? Um, you know, he needed some money for whatever. But so yeah, that's how I got my PlayStation 2. One of the bad things about this version of the game are the load times. The load times are just, ugh. Um, and so yeah, like one of the first games that I got for the PS2, because you know it was backwards compatible with PS1 games. You know, I didn't even have a PS1 at the time, so I started buying PS1 games, and Trilogy was one of them. And then at a yard sale, somebody had Twisted Metal Black for the PS2. Twisted Metal Black for 75 cents, and I said, yeah, sure, let me grab that. My buddy Roop, he had played Twisted Metal Black, and I watched it. I kind of got into it, and but I probably didn't put 75 cents worth of play into it. I don't think I ever. I beat it with a few people, but I didn't play with everybody, and mainly just I would listen to that song on it, Paint It Black. That was probably the best part about that. Ah. I don't know why it changed resolutions on me for this version of the game, but whatever. Hmm. Nice.
Fatality.
And they still have his name spelled wrong. That's weird. Scorpion and Ermac. Come on. Come on. He's not taking it. There we go. Okay. Ah. There we go. Nice. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Rain. What are you doing? Oh. We almost lost that. They tricked me. Come on. Ugh. Not good. Not good. Not good. Alright, guys. Come on. Do something. No. Okay. Come on. Come on. Nice. That was rough. Motaro again. Oh. Oh! Ha! Just cheaped him out a little bit. If it works, it's not cheap. It ain't cheap. Shao Kahn! No. Nice. Got more health than you. Nice. Raiden wins. Shao Kahn is no more. You are the MK Trilogy champion. Let's go with tournament outcome. When Outworld and Earth merge, Raiden finds himself battling Shao Kahn without the assistance of the Elder Gods. The Thunder God must transform into a mortal in order to exist in the combined realms. When he does this, he puts his own immortality at risk, but Raiden has always found ways of fouling Kahn's plots. He guides the chosen Earth warriors into battle against the Outworld Emperor's armies, then finally faces Kahn himself. The powerful beings fight until the very core of the Earth is shaken and Raiden emerges victorious. And that was Mortal Kombat Trilogy for the PlayStation. This was the best looking Mortal Kombat game at the time for home consoles, apart from, apart from the arcade. But there was, it had some issues with it. There was some combo errors and stuff. It doesn't play exactly the same as the arcade Ultimate MK3. And really, if you want to play the best possible Mortal Kombat game you can play for the the MK3 variation, you want to play Ultimate MK3 for the arcade. I wish they would redo these games, and I understand why they don't. I actually think there's some actors that used to have legal battles, and they might not be able to use those characters anymore, or at least they can't use the people that played them. And at one time they were thinking about, well, they were attempting to redo the game using new actors, but I think they felt that like it would play differently, that people wouldn't accept, that they wanted that nostalgia. I don't know. I would have tried it. MK4 coming in 97. So yeah, this must have been in 95, 96. So game over. All right, guys. If you haven't already, check out my Mortal Kombat website. www.angelfire.com/VA3/MK. And thanks for watching. MK4 for the N64 is next.